Yeah, we're back. It's the game again. This is the Tales of Revedia. We play Dungeons and Dragons. Uh, this is the people that you love. Some of them, because the rest aren't here. Damned be their souls. Oh wait, no, never mind. They're just sick. They didn't leave us for good. Um, but yeah, we. I know. Technically, you're supposed to do like intros and all that shit. Man, I can't be fucked at this point. If you don't know who they are, then use context clues. 1 second. You good?
I just realized that I am now the orangest among us, and that's concerning to me.
Would you want in on that?
And with that, we had a really fun session last time we played. I was gonna say last week, but that was simply inaccurate. Um, um, However, instead of doing a recap myself, we have somebody here who would absolutely love to do it, and they're actually getting ready to volunteer. Believe it or not, to do last session's recap because I'm sure
Oh,
they took much better notes than I did.
cool. Thanks for that. I was just grabbing my mouse, but also the mouse is a good tool for writing things down with. So I wrote down what happened last time on session a million. Uh,
We've come so far.
you know, look, why we're live streaming this? Why? It's I don't
Exactly.
pressure. Um. So session that one, uh, we went into the depths of the yeah
Tower of the
yeah
Moon.
uh into the depths of the Tower of the Moon in the spooky Shadowfell that was inhabited by an archfey. Um, and went through this door embossed with a rose to a chilled room with piles and piles of gold and this a crate woven out of spider webs. Opening and unraveling this spiderweb crate, sort of apparated three golden chests into the room, uh, each, each in turn embossed with a heart gripped in thorns, these two figures holding hands, and a dagger with flickering fiery feathers. Oh, that's right, you didn't. um, uh, the topic was not here for last session, which is very funny for a number of reasons. Um, the one of us touched the chest marked with the heart, and Vastron, this 12-foot tall devil with horns stretched down all the way down to his waist, uh, confirmed, asking if Jugun if she was ready to open it, and she again touched the chest. Or I think I'm misplacing people. Jogan touched the next chest with figures holding hands, and it melted away and revealed this little uh, teddy bear creature, the Sid, this stuffed manimal, the sentient enchanted being. Um, Out of the chest marked with thorns, a giant beating heart wrapped in thorns emerged from the chest, much as advertised. Uh, and the thorns sort of begin to spread out towards the hand of the person opening it, uh, and touched him. Uh, of course, this was sort of going on at the same time. So Sid, the stuffed manimal, told us that we shouldn't have touched the heart very helpfully after it happened. Um, and he explained that this wild heart contained the fey energy of the rose dragon Civis, that at once uh, that originally gave birth to the moving wilds and the sort of unique ecosystem there. Uh, the heart itself holds this sort of powerful healing magic. Um, then Kalis touched the last chest embossed with the dagger insignia. Uh, Sort of, nodded along to a contract with the devil that was probably fine. Um, and revealed from the box a obsidian long bladed black dagger with a raven feather hilt that glowed, emanated this fiery heat from within through the feathers sort of flittering, and he took it, and that's his item now, and no one else can use it. Not any rogues in the party, certainly.
Hmm.
um
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, finders keepers on that one.
Interesting.
Should have missed
Interesting.
that session.
Interesting.
um the wild heart then animated these piles of gold in the room that we super messed up and then cannibalized because they consisted of 40,000 gold pieces, and we took that as well. Um, uh, After the fight, the explanation continued. Citizen Zasari had originally crafted the wild heart out of this primordial magic, uh, as a key to their own hearts, but they are no longer in need of it because of the eased circumstances of the present for them. And then, damn it, Elijah, can you remind me the context in which I began to learn things? Was it like a vision? Like,
Uh,
was someone
it
what
would.
triggered it?
So after you guys had eventually decided that it'd be best to remove all these things from the Tower of the Moon, Jungun plane shifted you guys away,
Uh-huh.
uh, out to back to the Moving Wilds, in which you were going to figuring out what to do with it. Decided that you would supplant the Wild Heart back into the Moving Wilds as something to sustain its growth in the now absence of citizens in Starry. Um, Upon doing so, one thing, a sort of connecting note, is that it had begun to restore Sparks's body after prolonged contact with it, but he opted to not continue doing that because he was afraid of the implications. Um, but as you had done so yourself, and you had planted it within the
Um,
grove in which
so
yeah.
I'm sorry, I actually have a different bit of my notes. Another other thing prior to that, I'm realizing, which is that I just sort of like tried to. I think I just tried to get a vibe, or no, I asked Sid what his memories were, what was going on. I was sort of probing him, um, and he said that he was the sort of stuffed animal of a farmer boy that got lost. The stuffed animal got lost in the moving wilds, and sort of the magic ensorcelled it and it turned it sentient.
Like the
Uh,
Velveteen Rabbit.
and then Sid wandered with a group of people in the moving wilds. Some of them named Perrin, who all died, probably because they were there. They shouldn't have been there.
There's various groups.
Yeah, and then Kalis asked, and he answered that he'd remember he had like about 15 years to 20 years of memories uh, uh, wound up in him. He was sort of gave a rough number. But yeah, then we, like Elijah said, we teleported back to the moving wilds, to the pond the Rose and Lotus dragons had resided in, that had been filled in with the sort of reincarnated Ents from the magic that Zastari, magical boon that Zastari gave us to sort of return them. And we sort of buried the wild heart, which is only like about yay big, hand like football sized, back in the sort of like earth that had filled in that pond. Uh, and yeah, Sparks touched it. Kalus started meditating with it, with his hand on the heart, with its sort of like spreading wild healing magic going on. And he was sort of like began recalling memories that sort of blurred the line with experiences. Uh, and so through that lens, he began to uh, experience these visions of of parents. These two human farmers uh, uh, parenting this child, this woman Faye and the man Arlo. Uh, and there was a stuffed animal in this scene of the child, and this was clearly Sid, pre talking, pre animating, uh, and he and through the perspective of this child, of these two farmers, he saw this experience being lured to the river nearby this town by these sort of water spirits, like Nereids or the like. Uh, and he sort of had this revelation that these were his own memories he was going through, uh, and he recalled this conversation at breakfast of the his mother asking Arlo, "Are you going into town soon?" The husband reassuring Faye that they would go soon into town and inviting Cyrus along with him. Kalis then remembering Cyrus was his given name that he had long since forgotten. Uh, and yeah, then he sort of came out of this sort of vision as the um, Wild Heart began this sort of its quick spreading healing magic began to take effect, and the Ents began awakening out of the soil of the moving wilds, only interned days ago. Uh, and the reformed lead forest queller and Ent Cedar Howl uh, awoke, sort of vaguely recalling his his previous incarnation. And I think that was where we left it.
Yeah. After that,
Sorry for the long-winded bit there.
no, a lot happened. Afterwards, Sparks teleportation circled, to get you guys all back to town. So you guys actually would be in Revedia itself. Coming out of you guys would have been coming out of the Bronze Flame, because that's where his teleportation circle is too. Because you don't have one in your house quite yet, because that takes a year.
We'll never get one. I think in this campaign we'll never have the time.
You can hire somebody to do it every day, but that's like that's a whole fucking thing. But yeah, as you guys made your way back to the city, and you see that there's just the sort of thoughts of like a lot has happened in the period of the last few weeks. As you see, most of the events that have unfolded have been sort of recovered, and at least in the upper districts, life has begun to continue on as normal. Coming up out of the Bronze Flame, you would see plenty of the usual faces strewn about. However, it does seem to be a little lighter in the area than usual. It doesn't seem to be very densely populated, whether that's just because the time of day or many people out on missions. With tumultuous times ahead of Revedia, services that like the ones that Bronze Flame offers are going to be needed in many places. As you guys are sort of making your way up through the lobby, I know you guys heading back to the house. I'm assuming from there. You still have like I think a day until you need to meet with Jay. It's like a day or two for Hellmate.
Oh, I see.
I
mean, does anyone have any particular business we want to go at and read?
I will say, as you guys are making your way out, you would see in just sort of in the lobby, conversing with Helena, in which she picks you guys up. She clocks you guys almost immediately as you guys are coming up. You see Joanna, sort of in mid conversation, stops when you guys come visit. Could you all come here for a second?
Mm-hmm.
As she sort of waves you guys over. Just wanted to confirm something. Considering I know that some of you have personal connections with it. The dragons that just flew across the sky yesterday. from the Moving Wilds. Do you happen to know anything about that?
They won't be coming back, and I think you needn't worry about them.
That was uninformative, but something to deal with later. Think about later. If they're not coming back, then I'm sure that's fine. It's part of their process anyway.
They're immensely powerful beings beyond your and my ken, really. They're just going to be wherever they alight.
Of course, I just like to keep tabs on things like those when I see them roaming about. That's all. And there's got a lot of the townspeople in the small tiff. You don't see dragons of that. We rarely see dragons above the skies of Revedia, and even less often ones that size.
They're peaceful beings. You need not worry about those dragons in particular.
As I said, I'm going. I have no intent to pursue or bother them anyway. I just wanted to see if you were all see what awareness you all had of them. I know Moving Wilds is a place close to you, so I figured you'd have information, especially considering where you just came from.
Oh, I should be clear. This is different dragons we're talking about here, but we did run afoul of some red dragons out of the Hells recently. So those you might have greater concern for.
Damn.
They were working with some sort of warlocks.
That's good to know. They were in the Moving Wilds, you said?
Yeah, it was a day. You know,
It's
adventuring.
sure. I'll keep an ear out for more information. I have some contacts I might be able to get some favors from. That's all. Thank you. That's actually very good to know that they're out and about again. That's all. I don't want to bother you too much. It seems like you all had. It seems like you were all off to be somewhere.
Are we?
I mean, you're going home.
Okay.
You know, Joanna, I think we could actually use your help.
Is it,
You see, we stumble. Oh, sorry.
sorry, was it Helena or was it Joanna?
Joanna was talking with Elena.
I
Okay.
I know it's Joanna. I said the wrong name. I was thinking Joanna. Joanna, we could actually use your help. You see, we came across an item while we were sort of in another realm, and it's a very nice blade, but it's just sort of it's a very small arm, and since Taryn said she wasn't interested in it, I think we have no choice but to sell it.
I said no such
So could we
thing.
use the guild's marketplace to? I mean, I didn't. You didn't seem very interested in it at the time. She seemed sort of like aloof, if you will.
I mean, I can
When am I
look
not
at it.
aloof?
Oh yeah, here you go.
We can get it appraised and all. And as she sort of takes the blade and just to describe it again for Taryn, the blade itself it's regular sort of dagger length. The hilt is covered in these black feathers, but underneath it's almost like there's like this glowing coming from under them. Like what's the best word? Yeah, it's just like an underglow coming from the hilt itself. The feathers wrapped around covering. And did I say with the blade? I don't remember if I described the blade. The blade itself was. Did I? No, I think the blade. If I remember correctly, the blade itself was black, but along like the edge of the blade, along the back of it, it was just this bright red line that made its way through, almost like the light like shifting, almost like it was like molten lava.
Hmm.
Which is this is unique. Is this something you found recently within your venture?
Yes, we actually were gifted a horde, a dragon horde of the dragons that were, as you saw, moving house. So
I see. Well, it has a few different planar energies on it. I sense something. It has some energies from the hells on it. Doesn't seem to be malicious necessarily. It doesn't seem to be an evil object. But some of this, at least some of these materials, do originate from the hells, and these feathers, they seem to be raven feathers, but not quite. If I were to guess, it seemed to be from the beast of the from one of the beasts of the Raven Queen.
yes, the craftsmanship is quite fine. It's a shame none of us use such arms. I mean, I guess we'll just have to sell it, and maybe Taryn, you could buy like a bow or some sort of arm that you're more
Familiar with?
attuned to.
Right. We really don't want to sell it. He's just being himself.
I see. Well, I can have an appraisal done for it, or not an appraisal done, but if you need, from the way that I've heard other people, it doesn't sound like you have someone to properly identify. Oh no, you have that one wizard fellow that joined you recently. I'm sure he can identify. He identifies items. I'm sure if seems to be a competent wizard.
Does she mean Azan?
Zan,
He's
yeah.
on? Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Right, we could ask him about it. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh my god. Stop.
Cat attack.
Oh.
And then a Rakshasa apparates. Says, "I will drag you back to the hells for stealing my dagger." How dare!
Oh, I'm sorry. That's taken.
My revenge, and after I've reincarnated your soul, my revenge will be perfect.
Oh
My
my
Tiger
God.
Man.
Terrible,
His-
terrible.
Yeah.
And she'd hand you the dagger back, of course.
Could you hand me the dagger? I'll hold my hand out for the dagger.
Sure. If you, yeah. She's not, there's no subtlety happening here. She's picking up on it very quickly.
Yeah.
Well, then if
Should
that's...
I add that to my inventory?
Really cool dagger.
I will say the name of it is Flare. If you want to just put a
Flare.
dagger named Flare, and you have to find out stuff later. Unless you either attune to it or you ask somebody. Because that's how objects work.
Yeah.
How objects works.
Oh, how do I fucking...
Ooh, I realized there's something I do want to do.
What's up?
I think I need to go to the, what's it called? Blades Bath and Beyond.
Or Bloodbath and Beyond?
Bloodbath and Beyond. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to modify my staff of thunder and lightning.
Didn't you already do that? I thought you said we were doing it. I think you mentioned it. I think the last session.
I mentioned it, but I couldn't necessarily do it myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Zimir is also Ethan a little quiet. It's just my headset.
A little bit.
I'm a bit away from my mic.
Okay,
Depending on
alright.
the other stuff.
I just want to make sure my thing wasn't bugging.
Better?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
But yeah, that's definitely doable. As you guys sort of spread out, heading out of the Bronze Flame, you making a small detour, in which there is, honestly, the more difficult part is as you're sort of talking with Kanji and you hand him off, and he's like, "Who is this?" And he shocks the blacksmith. And you hear them arguing for a bit before he just gets a big pair of tongs and some rubber gloves. And that's their compromise. But yeah. You're able to head back, relax for the afternoon, and then with your long rest comes your level up, of course. But we have that taken care of.
Can I attune to this dagger during that long rest?
Oh shit! He's here. Wait 1 second. Yes, you can.
Guys,
Hello.
Cool.
Yay.
I just sorry I'm late. I just remembered on the way back that the clocks had gone back here, so I'm an hour out of where I'd usually be.
Mm,
Well, that's what you get for being British.
And my sound isn't working.
Oh,
It's gonna
Okay.
change again in a couple of weeks because I think our time will shift back.
mhm.
oh! I just fixed the cameras and now he's gone again. Alright, it's okay. I'll be back in a second.
Mm,
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be like in like 3 days is fallback.
And I wish I would remember that because it's gonna be a complaint when I get back to work.
Hello.
Heyo.
Yeah, this time isn't
Just-
gonna be
Yes.
desynced for even next session. It's like this week. Ours daylight's
Yeah,
back as
yeah,
well.
yeah. You guys go back on the 5th, so just do that. Sorry about that. I literally I was on my way home and I was just like, shit.
You're good.
You did a long recap for me.
Okay, leave that
Yeah,
to me.
we sat Terran in a moment of mourning, sold her dagger,
Yeah.
and to just find it a better home.
Oh, yeah, because she got the cool dagger.
Yeah. Which, you know what? I don't
Great.
use daggers, so it's fine.
I mean, you don't use pistols either. Ugh.
She just seemed really uninterested in it at the time, you know. I was like, "Hey, Terran, you want this dagger?" And she didn't say anything. You know, it's crazy.
You know how the shadow
See
folk
how
gets
it
the
is.
people.
See how the fuck it
While
is.
I
Oh yeah, she was depressive in a depressive
I was
state.
sad.
What
I had the big
you
sad.
remember from last week is that we were talking about leveling up, but I remember not being able to because I couldn't edit my character sheet because plutonium wasn't working.
It is up now and fixed.
Yeah. I was able to
Um,
update mine, so you should be good.
So feel free to go ahead and do
Okay.
that while we're doing shit because you guys are just headed back and taking a long rest.
I cannot edit my character sheet.
You cannot edit it at all. That's
No. I go up to the corner and it just says no.
let me see if I can give you ownership of it again. Maybe that's the issue. Anything?
The game is paused.
No, that's not it. You got your sorcery point. Go ahead and roll for your HP though, because it didn't add that automatically.
Can I take average? I know that's rare for me, but I don't know.
You go for it. I won't lose any sleep over. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. So, is it letting you edit yet?
Yeah, it's letting me at this.
Okay, cool. Are you just gonna attune to it when you get home, or are you going to have anyone look at it beforehand? So curiosity chair.
I guess I'll go stop by Dazan.
Because Dazan lives with you guys. He's at the house.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll swing by his room area first to see if he knows anything about it before I sit down with this dagger, but I definitely want to do that.
Yeah. So as you do so,
It's good to
you
know about your goods before reselling them, so you can be responsible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you do so, you give a knock on the door in which he says, "Oh, come on in." As you do so, opening the door, it's on very plain room, very simple guy. Syrup, I see.
I'm making trees.
Thank you. Like, what's up? You guys, how'd your trip go?
Interesting. It went interesting. Mixed bag, I think, in some ways. But I had something that I wanted you to look at to see if you could tell me anything about it.
Okay, I can do that. I'm fairly good at that type of thing.
Yeah, I'll pull out the dagger and hold it out to him.
It's like, oh, that's very pretty.
isn't it?
What's I'm assuming this is something you've got on your recent travels.
Yes.
You want me to just identify it? Do you want me like legend lore or something, or what's like?
Let's start with identifying it, maybe.
Okay, and just to be clear, I have to give this disclosure. I don't know what this is, but just me identifying it does not reveal if it's cursed. I don't think it's cursed, but you know.
I can touch it if you like.
No, that's okay.
Oh no, it's
I have
already
the
been touched.
party's curse.
I mean, I've
Check it.
already been holding it, so
I've been tuned to it, but to make sure that it wasn't going to kill you. But that's fine.
no, I'll attune to it. Don't worry about it. Thank you, though.
Let's see. So as he has you sort of set the dagger on his work desk in front of him. He seemed like he was already working, looking through some old research papers of some sort. And he begins the casting of identification. 1 minute goes by, and then you watch as he sort of comes out of his sort of spell trance. He goes, okay. So it has a name.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Flare. It's like just like the word Flare. Don't know the detail, quite details. It has a few little cool effects. So mechanically, um, first off, if you have trouble if you have a poor shot with it, for example, it's almost like it's a kind of like Ben's luck in a way. And that first part is if you roll a 1 with this weapon, you may re-roll it once. That's the first one. As well as something to do with the feathers. You can pull off the feathers, and they have little tricks. I am not proficient in using this, so I can't do it exactly. But if you can pull it off, it'll make like a little raven creature. I'm not exactly sure the origin of it because I can't. The spell's not ascertaining exactly what it is, but I think it's a raven. It's a bird at least. And then you have almost like a familiar, I guess. You can also swap with the bird. So if I guess which that's pretty cool as long as you're within a certain range.
Like physically swap places, or like swap being able.
No, it seems like you're able to swap places with the bird.
Oh wow.
And I don't. One thing that's concerning me is I definitely feel the presence of the hells in this weapon. Just in the heat, I don't think. It'd hurt very bad to get cut by this thing. Any wounds you dealt with it would hurt quite badly unless it was healed by magical healing. In fact, blah. 1 second. I have to find the name of it. Yes, once per day, or once per long rest. When you hit an enemy with this weapon, they can make a Constitution saving throw, or contract a disease known as what's it called? I can't read. Is it my obsidian? Well, the basic premise of the disease is that it causes their constitution to weaken, extremely. And if they are made of flesh and blood and can contract diseases in the first places, they'll be very vulnerable to whatever you do next. So basically, it's a DC 18 con save, and if they fail it until the start of your next turn, they have vulnerability to piercing damage.
It's like that contagion spell, but specifically for a turn.
Yeah.
until my next turn.
Yeah. Until the end of your next turn.
Until end of.
Is it like an earmarked effect that like only works with Terran's attacks, or is it like just any piercing damage?
Piercing damage. In general.
I'll have to target other things with Bryn. Don't want to get that like D20 or D8 doubled.
Yeah. And there seems to be other things that's, how do I say? It does not seem to be an object with a voice or anything like that, but it definitely has secrets that it does not want to tell. From what I can assert from it, it has some sort of thoughts behind it. Or something thinking there that's not letting me see the whole picture. So maybe it's the dagger itself, maybe it's the owner of the dagger, owner in the sense of whoever created it, or maybe who it truly belongs to.
Interesting. Thank you. This is all very informative.
Yeah, it's a cool little object. I'm curious to see how it evolves, I guess. There's definitely something else here. But you'll probably have to discover that over time. It seems safe, though, I will say.
That's good.
Safe with an asterisk. I don't see an immediate threat or reason why it would be dangerous. But, given, if I were to say anything, it does seem to be an object from the Hells, or at least related. So if anyone from there is looking for it, that'd be the danger, but not the dagger itself.
Good to know. Good to know. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course, of course.
How have you been doing here? I feel like it's been a while since anyone's really checked in on you, or since I've checked in on you. Are you settling in okay? Are you?
Yes. No, well, it's been a strange period. It's been good. A lot more attention than I thought I'd end up getting, though. In one of the papers, there was a few articles about my appearance as like this mystery man from another world. And that's led to a lot of people having questions for me, and a lot of people desiring my attention in ways that I was not adjusted to, and am not. But I am managing. It's the best. It's the best. I am managing. It's just very weird to be popular like that when I have spent more memories than I have in a whole.
Well, hopefully you're able to get some peace and quiet when you want.
Yeah, hopefully. But what's up for
Well,
you all? I'm sure you never have something or you never have anything small planned.
It doesn't seem like that, does it?
No, not from what I've observed at all. I haven't heard any like anytime just like you could go like I don't know, fight a bandit or something what adventurers do.
It seems like such a break to think about fighting a bandit. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder what a normal life would look like, or if there is such a thing, but we surely don't have it.
No. The normal life thing, I don't think. In the nicest way, I don't know if it exists for people like you guys. I think this is a
I
no.
don't think it does.
But that's its own good thing. I'm sure. I'm sure you'll find your peace in it.
Somewhere.
But yeah, cool little toy. Well, not toy. Magical item from strange place. But
Right up our
if
alley.
you happen to need an extra on a big escapade, I have a degree of availability. Just saying, You don't have to, because I know you guys got their own. You have a whole thing going on. I wouldn't want to intrude on anything.
No, it's always good to have you around, in my opinion, anyway. So I'll definitely keep that in mind. If we can use you and maybe get you out of the spotlight of the city for a little bit.
Yes, because if not, if you guys go, if you don't, you're actually thinking about taking a small vacation. I
Sure
have
you
some
want to
places I
put
want to check out.
yourself in harm's way? Because we are never.
I didn't hear the first thing you said was Joe.
I said, are you sure you want to put yourself in harm's way? Because we are never. We're always in the worst place. The plan that we make never work. Have we ever had a plan that's worked?
I've witnessed the plans. I've witnessed a few of your plans.
I feel like at least some of them had to have worked.
I think we're
I
very
can't-
good at improvising.
You know, that's really what life is about, isn't it? It's just being able to improvise.
It's just, how do I say? I knew so much of my world, and it's wonderful. The records of Revid are so vivid of the incredible places that are in the lands, but it's not the same as getting hands-on the research. Yes.
Kayla's just like casually strolls down the hallway past this room. It's like, oh, like how you improvise whenever we ask you about your past. Just continues walking.
Oh, that was awkward.
Is he saying that to me? I feel like that was directed at me.
Yes, you feel correctly.
Kayla's just being sassy tonight.
It makes sense. You do seem to be like a closed person when it comes to that sort of thing. But, you know, we all have our
Sorry,
stuff.
I'm not an open book.
Well, you could be like maybe a little bit less locked, you know? Feels
Why?
like somebody covered you in chains and then threw you to the bottom of the ocean, kind of locked.
That's not the worst analogy.
Well, it's just because, we've been together for so long. It'd be nice if you could, share, because I have, and so has Kalis, Dragon, and even Zelfar.
Shared a
Zelfar, the
little
one that
bit.
does. Zelfar doesn't even like hugs, and he shared.
I've shared a little bit. You were there.
By a little bit, you mean not at all.
No, there was. I have a sister.
I told you there are two of me. Two. We could, a little
I'm
bit
sorry.
more.
I'm sorry. Sparks, what?
I'm sure I told you.
He was not there.
I mean, I felt like I came to you and I talked to a lot of powerful magic people.
Oh.
I thought I took. But I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's fine. I'm sure it's just a lot of wizards. Just get confused.
Well, this and Sparks spends 7 minutes.
Yeah. At the end of it, he goes, ah.
During those 7 minutes, I'd like to leave.
No, like slink out.
Turn
Yeah.
back to Taran and I was gonna
Done.
say I'll make a perception check, but first of all, your stealth is insane, and second of all, my wisdom is not good.
Yeah, just gonna get like a minimum 20.
Exactly
turn
8
back
minutes
to Tara.
later, Kalis pokes his head in the door and says, "Oh, we should go fix the illusion actuator, and then we'll put both of you on the pad, and then we'll just sort of do like this, just sort of like this, and then you'll be good again, like this."
I mean, if you want to blow aside the city up, yeah, let's do that.
No,
I mean, you have to stand on the pad, but just sort of like personal space, like just sort of like lean to the side, and the other you leans to the other side.
I don't think it's advised from the way he's talking about. They shouldn't. They probably shouldn't touch, and they might not be an illusion necessarily. If they're both real, that's That has a lot of implications, but that's okay.
Hmm.
None of them are good. Alrighty. I have some stuff I need to get back to, but that's Sparks.
What stuff are you doing?
You see, he has like a sly smile on his face. A research project.
Well, I mean, I like magic. Tell me about it.
It's like, well, you didn't hear this from me. And you watch as one of like the little one of his used like a little animated object, just like a mug, sort of like slinks over and like closes the door, so it's just you two. All right.
I mean, Kalos is standing right there.
Yeah. Oh.
He closes into his
Oh, I didn't
face.
realize Kalos was still there.
To be honest, I thought you'd
fully
walked away
present.
as well.
Yeah,
in the room.
I was fairly certain Kalos had just like said a thing and then walked by. I thought he kept
Yeah,
going.
but this is 8 minutes after that in the
Oh.
timeline.
Oh, so
Yeah,
he
but
came
you've
back.
done
Wandered
it for a
back,
second time.
like munching on a muffin. You know, it's just got an
the door
apple.
closes in your face.
Rude.
Well, so I've grown very interested in the experience we had with the Mythalot up north. And recreating something like that is just not feasible, really. It costs way too much arcane energy. There's no proper fuel source here that wouldn't be disastrous to the local area. However, you do have very interesting ways of storing magic. In like devices and things like that for daily use. It's very incredible what they're able to do here relative to what the level of technology I expected this place to have was. So the long story short is I am working with the head of the school of, I believe it's transmutation.
Oh,
And-
I know them.
They've mentioned you a few times in passing. Nothing bad. They
Well,
just
I
know
didn't
of
ex-
our
you know,
association.
I didn't think it was gonna bad, and
No,
until you said that.
no, it wasn't bad. I just said it wasn't. What do you mean? I just said it wasn't bad. And we're trying to find a way to create a version of the Mythalore that can be sustainable off external energy sources. Specifically, something that's like very plentiful, which is extra planar energy. So, say if we can have something that exists here but is powered by, say, like the Far Realms, which is an endless source of, well, getting access to the Far Realms is another thing. I'm still looking at other options. Possibly
Well, if you do
Pandemonium.
come up with the idea, you should call it a 0-point module.
A what?
Don't worry, it's just it's a fucking literally what you described as a power source and fucking Stargate.
Oh, that's
Don't
funny.
worry.
But I figured if something like that, we'd be able to advance technology by leaps and bounds here, because everything is so close. The room for innovation, things have gotten so advanced that the breakthroughs are very few and far between. But if we do have one, it could change the entire city. It's just finding what the right one is in order to make that happen.
Well, if you need any help, I would totally be up for help.
I may call on you for that eventually. My problem really is trying to pick locations. I don't know which would be the most suitable to, I guess, siphon from, or what would be good as fuel. Or maybe if we could make a pocket dimension of some sort, in which, no, that wouldn't work, because then it would need, and you watch as he sort of ramps himself for a second, comes back. But yeah, I may be able to have a use for you soon. I could find somewhere I could use help.
Yeah, I'd love to do a project. It's been a while since I've been able to. Well, I would love to help, but I do have a habit of exploding. But I'm getting better at it.
It's a lot of delicate equipment in use right now.
Some would say that I have doubled my ability to not explode
That's
recently.
good. That's better. That's quite an improvement, actually. So no complaints here. Let's just avoid it as a whole, though. I think that's the goal. Just entirely not do that.
It depends how much magical energy that I'm channeling. You know, like I channel more and more and more, and then I'm like a capacitor, but like I have a small capacity, and unlike other magicians, when the capacity is ended, it just drains from them. Yeah, I go boom.
Yeah.
But if you could imagine, if you could measure the energy that comes off me when I wild surge, if you could store that yourself into a battery, that would be an endless source of magic. Because it's spontaneous and it comes from nowhere. Well, it comes from the natural weave itself.
Yes, that's. I was giving consideration to the Feywild, but the big obstacle that we're facing is the fact that it very well could begin to take properties of the place where we get it from. So, if we were to siphon energy from the Feywild, it could make the device chaotic in ways that we can't anticipate, and that's sort of the big obstacle there. So we're kind of avoiding the one, but it's an option. As I said, we're very early. We don't even have a prototype yet. This is mostly just thought stuff. Time.
Can I make a perception check to eavesdrop
Yeah, sure.
on this secret meeting?
Yeah, they're not like whispering or anything. Go for it. It'd be afraid. It'd be like probably like DC 10.
Percepting.
Yeah, you can. If you're standing outside the door, you'd be able to hear it fairly easily. Are you trying to be discreet about it, or are you just like standing like at the door? Just
a careless ear just slips in through like the crack.
Like he puts his ear to the door, his antler hits it
antlers
first.
That doesn't work. Not like that. Gotta give it some space. I mean, I will loom. I will loom as silently as I can. But I'm not gonna like crouch down because like, what's the point of me crouching down? Because I fucking like a foot tall antlers that would give me away.
Yeah, it's more like making sure you're not like obviously like within the doorway, or like hiding your shadow within the frame or the jam. Not the jam. What's the?
I can like auditorily hide. I can't physically hide or visually hide.
But yeah, you'd be able to hear him, no problem. It's not like he's looking out for you anyway.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, you managed over here pretty much the entire conversation. But if I, as I said, Sparks, if I have a thing I think you can help with, I'd love to bring you into the project. That's all I really got to say about that. Boom, boom, boom.
I mean, you could start the project on a ley line, because the ley lines have more magic than normal, so if you start draining the magic, there won't necessarily be much noticeable.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose we could. I'm just worried about taking anything from the material plane in general. We saw what would happen when something on that scale, what it did to the Northern Lands. And I don't want to, in our arrogance, accidentally recreate something like that. So I'm just being overly cautious, that's all.
I understand. It's in my nature to not be cautious, so.
That not convincing. Well, that scares me when we're talking about giant magical devices, but that's okay. We need inspiration like that.
Factor.
When there's a risk to be had, I'll make sure you're involved. Sometimes we might need your luck.
Cool. So when are you coming on an adventure with us? Or what do you want to?
I don't know. When are you going on an adventure? I'm kind of just working on this project.
I think soon.
Do you know where you're going?
Well, I don't know yet. The team seemed to be between two things. Some of them wanted to go to the heart of Revedia, sorry, not Reveed. The the
Yeah.
big lake thing. But I have the passing thing with the how to describe this. My mentor lost her magic, and I would like to give her magic back. And the way that I've been told that I could do this, well, Mistra told me that I could go to this area with the magic ley line, with the temple, with sort of arcane site, and do something there. So I would like to go and do that thing, but I don't know if the rest of the group wants to. But that kind of sounded up your alley because magic.
I mean, I'm sure that no one would have any problem doing that. That sounds like
I mean, yes, but they're meeting with someone who's gonna go to the heart of Revedia. I feel Revedia. I'm hyper.
it sounds interesting. It's like an altar where they can restore one's magic. Is it like the
Yes.
premise of it? Huh. I think it'd be
Does it
interesting to
spell-
check out. If you go, either way, other place, I'll go with you. That's fine with me. I'm more apprehensive about the water, though.
You don't like the water?
I've heard a lot of rumors about it, a lot of superstitions and stuff. And
I mean, I don't like water either. So we sound like the perfect pair.
it's starting to sound like that, I suppose. Let me know what the plan is. Once you guys
Okay.
figured it out.
I'll confer with the others.
Of course. So, yeah. Have a wonderful night, Sparks. And you get back to this.
Good night.
Yes.
Sparks will open the door right in front of Kalis and go, "What?"
So kind of Chaos was just like conspicuously walking by. Again. With no sounds of footsteps.
Oh no, I rolled a 20 stealth. I'd like to
Oh.
anticipate the conversation ending.
Yep. Oh, that's a case. Right out.
What the
DM, I
fuck are
rolled a
you gonna
20
hide?
stealth. I'm gonna go down the hallway and leave, and I'm gonna go outside, and I'm gonna go to my garden. I actually did want to go to my garden and check on it.
Trees been getting big. Trees been getting real big.
We talking like city trees planted along the side of a road, or we talking like park trees? What are we talking about?
They're getting park tree size, and they're growing fast. You get looking at it, examining the root systems, you can see that actually, they haven't exactly begun to reach the house or anything yet. The roots of these trees, but they're definitely spreading quickly, and beginning to cover the yard. It's more like going there. There's depth first before they begin to spread out in their width. But yeah, no, things are progressing unmonitored, and they're gonna keep moving.
I guess there's no gardener's proficiency in D&D, but
It's I'd use survival or
Yeah. May I try to sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you, but I'm pretty sure we rejected landscaping.
Yes.
I rejected landscaping, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were landscapers hired for the area.
I rejected the human landscaping service. But what I wanted to sort of bonsai, not like that degree of exactingness, but I was hoping to garden the trees into sort of a hedge maze sort of silhouette. So it sort of creates a sightline blockages and sort of maybe a glade in the middle. It's just sort of a place of privacy and a place of just sort of peace.
Yeah, no, that's something that'd be sort of doable over time. Just setting up sort of grow paths in the yard for them to naturally go along to. That way you could have something like that. Yeah, that'd be possible.
Yeah, just that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even really make you make a check for that. That's just something to do in downtime. But with that being said, unless anyone else has anything pressing to deal with the rest of this day, you guys would have your night. You get your long rest, and the day would begin anew.
I'll
Uh,
blow up the sun.
you what?
No. Okay.
Pardon? You
Just-
you what?
Just blow up the sun, you know.
I didn't read that one in the player's handbook.
The sun's gonna
I
come
would
down
like-
and fuck you up.
To attune to flare, please, and thank you.
Go ahead and do so.
How do I fucking mark you as equipped? Here we go.
Yeah, it ain't
Do,
go
do,
cap. I don't have
do.
Flare's properties written down in the thing.
No, it's fine. That's no. Attunement required. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm going to. Do I have any other attunement? Do.
You currently have the necklace of adaptation and the cold absorbing tattoo.
And that's it. So that's my third. That'll be my third one. Cool. Can I can only do one attunement per long rest.
No, yeah, you can swap things out. I'm not gonna, especially because you guys have
Okay.
like a few days of downtime.
All right, I'm gonna swap out the necklace of adaptation with the periaptive wound closure.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, it's the other way around. That's weird. The grayed out ones are the ones that you're attuned to.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
see.
weird.
Never mind then.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. With that,
Oh
though,
yeah, what are we doing, gang?
Okay.
You guys did get the message from Jay where he's saying he'll be like arriving like midday. If you guys have a particular spot you want to meet, if you just want to meet him at your place, or if you have if you got a whatever.
I don't remember our place.
Yeah.
I
Right,
would
good
like
point.
to talk to oh Lord. Sparks.
Oh.
If he, I'll probably hang out in like a common area and wait for him to show up. But since
Oh.
it's needed.
Just muted.
Yeah.
Shame.
Do we want to take a break, or what do you think?
Yeah, we can just take 5. I gotta go to the bathroom anyway.
Yep,
Let's
works
take a
for me.
quick 5. All right, we're back.
Bye, internet.
Hello, everybody. We're back. Ethan's dabbing. He did a good one.
I'd like to roleplay breakfast, DM.
So as you guys are sitting in here making breakfast,
We
getting
eat
ready
and-
for your
and
day.
finish breakfast and leave the kitchen.
Jay knocks on. You get a knock on your door, presumably from Jay, who said he'd meet you this morning. Someone gave him the home address. You guys aren't exactly inconspicuous. If you say where does the deer guy, where does the deer cat, the tall lady, and the actually most normal looking human person or the human here live, it's funny because visually Taryn is the most normal out of all of you.
Yeah, but she's
By
also
a mile.
she's actually the most weird.
It's like rain.
I'm not two. I don't have two of me.
You hear a knock at the door.
You tell me to.
Hey there. Excuse me.
At the door.
Just
Hello.
can I come in?
Oh, Jay. Yes. I give him a big
Chicken!
hug.
Yeah, and he'll give he's a relatively tall guy. You dwarf him, or or other way around. One of those. He's like, okay,
We're
good to
having
see you.
breakfast.
Perfect. I came
Look,
just in
so
time.
better.
I was going to stop, but I figured, it's been so long since you've seen me. You were probably so excited to see me again. So I was like, I'll just come first. I'll just come first. So what are you guys doing? As he sort of makes his way in, and you guys sort of gather around the living space.
I'm still asleep, just on a chair.
Yeah.
It's too early in the morning.
Is this just yeah?
We've been
Okay.
doing.
Yeah, crazy times in the city. There's like the whole eclipse thing, and that was actually apparently surprising that there wasn't very much news about that, and the dragons, and the attack on the city, and there's a whole bunch of stuff I've heard. Your king's
Mhm.
dead? Or missing? What the
Oh,
hell?
There wasn't a king
He's on
before.
vacation.
Rodian
There
Vel?
wasn't a
That guy?
king.
You seemed I thought he was like a kingly guy. That's what I heard about him. He was in
He was
charge,
just
I thought.
Head of the council, I think.
And yes, but like, what the hell is you guys? Is everyone y'all okay? Because it sounds like it's been a busy, long time. Very lot of busy stuff since I've last seen you.
You're not wrong.
And now you have an interest in the heart of Revedia?
Yes.
Yes, you see, we'd had a long conversation where I'm now going to just summarize what we knew at the Heart of Reed. Where we heard some adventurers saw some sort of giant fish and also a kraken beneath the surface there. And maybe there were some portals to other planes involved. There seems to be some mystery about what resides at the bottom of that body of water, and yes, and we also we were able to speak to the man and obtain a keepsake from him. Shit, do we have the Excel's scale, or does he
No.
keep that?
No, because it's not.
No, it's huge.
It's
It
a
was
massive.
huge.
It's like a wall. It was like a
Yeah,
wall.
We
in the
managed to obtain a mental keepsake from the man, which I will now describe to you. It was a big scale, 8 foot wide, big old cold scale. It was like a mirror. It was silver. It reflected magical projectiles on each side, and it was silver on one side and it was dark navy blue on the inside side. That's it.
Okay, that's a lot of information. I've learned a few things about the heart myself, but like, it's very ambitious. You're taking on the biggest question in the history of the continent, really.
We're thinking like
Like-
big fish, big scale, like maybe
I mean, big creatures.
Maybe there's something there.
Big creatures are given down there. That's something that's not known very well, but spoken about. There's like old records of like giant crab monsters and krakens and creatures like that one we saw back up in the Noble Fall, things like that. I guess my big question is just why? Is this just a curiosity thing? Because if it is, I would respect it, but that's like actual crazy.
There were humanoids down there too.
People?
Humanoids that one of the adventurers that we spoke with was talking to.
He's reliable? It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there is that, which is certainly an intriguing factor, but the kernel of our interest was that oh god, shit. We were in Ariam's head. Yeah, when we saw the armillary.
The king, the
Yeah.
head
Like-
of the king? Of the
Yeah.
head of
Yeah.
Okay.
Ariamville. No, sorry. I'm just like trying to ask
Oh
for
yeah, yeah.
clarification.
No, we were in his head.
We
Yeah.
were in his headspace. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what I'll tell Jay is, well, we were exploring an ancient ruin.
Okay.
And we found this structure resembling an armillary. I'm sure you're familiar.
I know the word.
It had a golden. It had glowing points all across the globe. One of them matched this structure we found fallen in Hearth's Edge. This structure that fell into the King's Basin long, long ago. A city. It fell from the heavens and plummeted there, and it matched. Its location matched one of the markings on this armillary, and these markings spread out across the world, all around it, encircling it. Many of them. And there was one of them, a golden little light, and on this armillary it was denoted with this figure of a golden mechanism right at the center of the heart of Revedia. So we want to find what was set out on that map and why.
Oh yeah, it sounds like you're coming closer than other people have already with that much information. You think it's another like city then? Or like a ruin like up north, whatever you're talking about?
We don't know.
Well, the heart's like no other natural feature I've ever seen, spanning oceans across the continent in every direction. If I were to guess now, I'd say there was a portal to some plain with an endless font of water that supplied our world's lifeblood. But in truth, I don't think any of us know what we'll find there. Not in total.
I see. My original plans for the hearts didn't exactly take me towards the center, if I'm being honest. It sounds enticing, but still incredibly dangerous. Like, to be frank, my vessel, I've made some significant changes to it. Actually, very excited to show it to you all at some point. But if something were to happen, like with one of those massive beasts down there, or I don't know, we're not the biggest fish down there, not even close. And once we get that sort of depths, maybe we could go along the surface, but the surface is too tumultuous. The storms, the winds. There's not many ways to go I can imagine but underwater. That's actually what I was going to go do. I guess I could explain it to you, as he sort of sits up. I have been looking into some records for myself. Not in the heart itself, but like the surrounding areas. Sailors don't like going through it. They're very, very superstitious, very paranoid, and rightfully so. Ships that go through one way don't come out the other. what I've been able to predict is that at least along the heart of Revedia, the edges of the heart, there has to be just these massive amounts of riches that have just been stored up throughout the years. From all the
What has been stored up?
of like riches from trade goods, ships that have come sailing through, just this font of goods that have been untouched. That's the closest that I was able to get. I wasn't able to actually. I was able to find some smaller things, but nothing very impressive. Where I did stumble onto those. I believe I found some sort of current that makes its way towards the heart, but I did not risk traveling it in my vessel by myself. From everything that I could,
It leads into the heart, not away.
kind of. It's almost like it swirls around like a whirlpool. It spirals. I skimmed along the edge of it for a certain point, but once it started to loop back around, I realized if I kept following it, I would get pulled into it myself. So it's either a current that goes in one big circle, or what I'm assuming is it spirals towards something. And I noticed many things taking in that, or being taken by that path. That was sort of what my main interest was. I wanted to see if maybe some things of value, some ancient things could have been caught up in there. Traders have been sailing through the heart, or at least around the heart, since its inception. Who knows what could be found? But to sail into the heart itself, that's a scary prospect.
Not to the surface, though. We would be going beneath the waves.
Oh no, that's what I mean. Is the current was beneath the waves.
I see.
I dare not even try and surface at any point when I was near the heart. The winds alone, the waves, it could destroy virtually any vessel. You need to have a ship made of adamantine or something.
Is there a storm or a water spout
sorry,
that
1
rests
second, my
upon the
fucking
surface?
headset died. I apologize.
Ah. Oops.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't want to.
Apologies, go ahead.
Does any other party members have any questions about water or pertaining to water?
Go ahead. You're good.
I
For me, anyway.
don't like water.
Noted. Do those winds denote the presence of a sort of storm or typhoon that rests at the center of the lake? Is there any sort of...
I've never been able to be with an eyesight of the center, but from the edges, it's always a storm.
So you can see it off in the clouds.
Once you get close enough, yes.
I see.
And of course, this isn't even thinking about the creatures. Now, it's possible. I have made some adjustments to my ship and some smaller safety mechanisms, for in case something poor does happen. But I don't know. This is it's a dangerous prospect just for curiosity's sake, you know. At least for personal risk, if I'm being honest.
I mean, I don't mean to dismiss your concerns, but I'm pretty confident we could keep you breathing.
I love the way which you speak, Kalis. I don't. I wish there was a way I could show you. It's not things you can imagine. There aren't waves that are mountains, and the one creature that I did stumble upon there, I've never seen any sort of sea creature that large. It could at any point it could end up passing by to swallow the ship whole. It's not a place of. It's not natural. Whatever's going on down there.
It's okay. Fire's there. He'll protect us.
What? Okay, now I respect it, Jongin, but I'm not. I'm not into all that stuff really. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You'll,
No, he's
Juggin,
there.
wait, Jurgen, do you mean far as like there, like far as in all of us and everywhere, or do you mean far as there?
He's there, like physically there.
What did you when did you come to believe this?
Oh, he spoke.
Right, that would work. Did he say come visit?
He doesn't have to.
okay, that's peculiar. Here's what I'll give it some consideration. I think maybe it'd be best to at least try and see if you can understand the area first, because I feel like I know you guys have experience, but I feel like you don't understand what you're getting into.
Mm. Is there a way we can like maybe get some brevity? Because it seems like you're scared.
Well,
Do we need to like do some testing of some sort?
I wouldn't call it like a fear thing. It's just an instinctual part of my knowledge that every person who steps onto the waterways of Revedia is told their entire life. Because of the people who've had to learn that lesson for us. So it's
No,
more
I
like.
think you just have a strong self-preservation. I think going to the water is bad. Terrible idea. Terrible.
I mean, if Far's there, I'm sure Jugun could ask him to bail us out if the worst were to come.
That's it.
He likes her.
He likes her, but I don't worship that guy. I don't know. He might just leave. What if he just leaves us in the water?
No, that's not how it works. Jugun, like, Far likes Jugun, and because of that, Far, she sort of transfers his affection to all of us.
That's
we're
not how
all sort of
gods work.
I kind of look at him
yes.
like it's okay. Death is only the beginning.
No, I was that statement I did not like.
That's not. No. It's my ends. I don't have like a. I think when I die, I'm going to. I don't know where I'm going. Like I don't want to. I don't want to find out. Like to be clear.
I mean, Jugun has through her given us all Far's blessing many a time. We're cool with him. We're like tight.
No, that's not how gods work. Just because you pray to one and they give you powers doesn't mean that you're. What was the word that you used? Tight?
Okay. I'm interested
No,
in your.
I mean that wasn't quite what I meant. We're more like friends of a friend.
I see.
I wouldn't save a friend of your friend.
We're friends with Dragoon.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes. But I'm saying, if you had friends that I didn't know about, I
think he
wouldn't
knows about
necessarily
us.
go out of my way to say, it's hypothetical.
I
I'm
think
pretty sure he
Cedar
knows
Howl
about
would
us.
disagree, Sparks. We saved him, didn't you? Didn't we?
Guys, I'm not being sold on this whole thing. Just to be clear, this is just saying that her God won't save. Okay, I'm interested in this at the very least. We can go check out the area, but I still have reservations about delving into the heart of Revedia. We don't know how long the trip's going to take. We don't know what we're going to encounter. There's no information whatsoever on this out there. Do you like? If I had something to work with, I'd feel a little bit better. But we're really going in blind. If I had some preparations I could make, some modifications I could make to the ship, it'd be different. But I don't even know how deep it's going to be.
Well, could you modify the ship so, it can go, like, real deep?
I mean, it already does go real deep, but
But I
Went pretty
mean, like,
deep before.
center of the earth deep.
I don't know how big the world is.
Like, imagine how far we've gone, and then times it by, like, 6.
It could currently handle close to that, potentially, but if something were to happen, like if we were to be attacked during that time, it'd be very vulnerable.
Well, I mean, couldn't you reinforce it so we were not vulnerable?
No. There are a few things stronger than the forces of nature. After you get to a certain depth, if there's a single crack in the ship, the entire thing turns into a crushed can.
Well, could you,
That's-
like, magic it
Fuck
so
yeah.
it doesn't happen?
It's as magic as much as it can get, trust me, unless you have some grand inventor who is also, not who somehow happens to be one of the best in the world, which would be my father, who's,
Well,
good.
now that you mention it. One second. Dazan!
As
I need to borrow you for a minute.
you see Dazan comes downstairs, kind of like he kind of wears like that Ebenezer Scrooge get up to bed. And as he comes down, oh, here.
So, Jay, this is Don. He's the inventor guy that you mentioned. Hey, look.
Who's this guy? He goes, who's this guy? They sort of look at each other for a second. Jay, Dazan. And how are you introducing him, Sparks?
Well, I just said, hey, this is the magical inventor guy that I was talking about.
Oh, he's an inventor. And Dazan just goes,
Well, no, he's
ah.
a powerful wizard who does experiments of an arcane nature in his spare time.
I mean, yeah,
I'll quickly say.
yeah, no, like my creator was an inventor, and I have his knowledge, and I also pick up on the hobby. He goes, "Is he an automaton?" It's like, no, I was an illusion, and then I was turned into a real person by these people. He goes, I see. Yes, I was from the ancient city of Nadim, very far off in the north. We long before any of this stuff around here, flying cities, all that stuff. And Sparks, Jay looks over at you, and he goes,
I point to Dazan and just say, he's a real one.
and Jay, he's insane.
No, actually, that is all true.
Yes, it's very true.
We went into one of the broken flying cities. That's where we found him.
When we met him, he wasn't a real one, but now he is.
We do some funky magic. Look, you know us. We do the impossible on a regular basis.
Let's recall.
We still have that stick we got out of the clutch of the awful dragon snake person fish.
Anyway, what I'm saying is that, right, because the rest of the group clearly wants to go to the heart of the Reveed, and look, John, Jay doesn't believe that it's physically possible to reinforce a ship to go into the heart of the Reveed and, not immediately implode from being attacked by a creature. And he said the only way that he could do it is if somebody that was like super duper inventor would be able to do it. And I think that you are super smart. And I think that if you two work together, that you could come up with something. And then we could all go on an adventure together.
Oh, that's very sweet. As you think so highly of me. I don't know the details of the situation, but I could give it a look. I can't make anything invincible. Not with a level of magic that exists in this world, to which Jay goes, huh? But I could do something for it. Sure, sure. Is that the only way, like, that the only thing you're worried about? As he looks over Jay, it's like, yeah, that's kind of the main thing. Worst case scenario, I have an escape button, you could call it, if things get very sticky. But they said if we all instantly die, there's no escaping.
It's a
Maybe
ring
you
of
could
water
put,
walking,
like,
isn't it?
you know, like some disintegrator cannons on the front. So, like, if there's a big monster in front, you can go pew 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 pew, make it fuck off.
Mm.
Like that.
And at the point, Jade said, "Oh no! If we encounter hostile, our best thing we can do is not catch the attention of large creatures down there."
Well, in that case, make our ship invisible.
It's like, is that something that could be done at a large scale? It just sounds like, probably, yeah. It'd be expensive, and I probably wouldn't be able to do it for an unlimited amount of time. So it'd have to be some sort of recharging device, but it'd be doable. I'd at least be able to hide us from things. Okay, I feel better about the prospect of it. But I hate to. With that being said, now that I'm feeling more comfortable with it, as Jay looks over at you guys, you haven't forgot who I am, though. You're forgetting one big detail. What's in this for me?
All of that loot that you specified beforehand. If we can actually get down there, then you
Bragging
can
right?
have it. Because I'm pretty sure everybody here just, apart from me, I like things too. But the rest of them just want to go and see what's kind of there, right? And talk to the people and the stuff. Whereas, like the shiny things, how about you can keep like 60% of it?
60%? That's a good fraction.
60.
I mean, he's the one with the ship.
So that's a fact. That's true.
Okay. We'll go down. We'll check it out. But I am not dying for this. Just to be explicitly clear.
It's fine. I've got teleport. I'll get us out of there just in case. I can't say anything about your ship, but
Well,
Jay,
I hope
we have a magical dimension shifting cube that can send us instantly to safety the moment you touch it with intent, and you can hold on to it while we're
he
down
holds his
there.
hand out.
while we're down there,
We don't
we
have
kind of
to
need it
Now-
for the moment.
I can grab out the hiding hole.
Clarification: does this cube require attunement?
I have to double check. I don't think it does.
Hiding
Just
Maybe
wondering, like,
we
if you
don't-
touch a side of it, does it instantly transmit you?
No,
or
no.
you just say a keyword or something?
Yeah.
Maybe we should, not give him that yet. Like, I feel like we should keep it as a backup. We hop dimensions all the time.
Anyway, well, I would like to receive it once we get on the thing, and
I'll show him the cube. I will produce the cube.
that item looks incredibly concerning as well. But I'm more satisfied. Okay.
Now, I should tell you that if you abscond without us to, say, the plane of fire, you'll probably die.
Wait.
Well, unless you have a
so
really
which one's
good-
the safe one?
Escaping with us, so we can escape to like a relatively less dangerous area, and then we'll protect you, and we'll all make it back happy and
well-
alive. But like, it's a get out of jail free card in a sense.
In a sense.
All right. Well, I feel like if you talk more, you're going to convince me less. So I'm going to agree to this for now.
Hey, Zan, just while I have you here, I keep accidentally summoning unicorns, and they're kind of pissed at me. But do you think you could make me a device that could, like, if I summon a unicorn, that
Oh, no.
I could just, like, put it in a bowl where it wouldn't be able to get hurt, or anything?
You want me to
Or like
capture
a li-
unicorns?
Like basically just for a minute, so it would be like it doesn't get hurt at all. So like the last time that we were with Jay, I accidentally sent a unicorn to the bottom of the ocean, and it was immediately fine.
What if
The
you did
water pressure.
that spell? You cast that spell to help the unicorn, like what was it, prismatic wall? Could sort of give the unicorn a rainbow shield.
I don't have that. I wanted something that like automatically activated and saved unicorn from death.
I mean, due to the unpredictability of your surges, I couldn't make anything reliable. I'm sorry.
Could you just give me something that like I could give the unicorn the next time he shows up? Because I feel bad.
Like a token or like a
Is there
amulet?
anything that you think you can in your memories that you can think of that unicorns like that I could give them and it would...
I'm going to be honest with you, Sparks. I have very little experience with unicorns.
Okay.
I don't even know what they... Carrots?
No,
That's the best I could think of.
Horsepower armor. Just putting it out there. Jay, any thoughts?
Horse armor? You might have to go to somebody else for horse armor, if I'm being honest. But I'll keep it. I'll keep the thought of it in mind. But if you want me to do this, I'm going to go take you. Jay, I'd like to go check out your vessel and see if we can see how long it take to make some adjustments. To which Jay just goes, well, I guess it's going to be necessary. And at that point, he's sort of sitting on the couch the entire time. You watch as just, like, jerking to life, like it's like just woke up. You see Sid just, hey, ooh, oh, that was a weird dream. What are these guys doing? As they both look down at the teddy bear that just started talking, Zahn goes, I didn't do that. Jay goes, I didn't either. He goes, let's go to the ship.
Yes, we all know wizards. This is not a wizard bear. He's a fey bear.
Fey bear. Oh my gosh.
Okay, and
He's Kalus's battle buddy.
we'll return soon. As Jay takes Razan over to the ship.
No, I think you should keep RPing with each other. Go for it.
Which Sid now sort of coming to con. It was like just like a stuffed animal there a second ago, as he's awake now. Ugh. Ugh. So heading to the middle of the ocean.
To the bottom of it.
Bottom sounds good.
It's also
Well,
fresh water.
I'm down for it. It's what?
Actually, I was hoping we could do my thing maybe quickly beforehand, possibly.
Well,
Sure.
Me too.
I feel like any adjustments and augmentations that Dazan needs to do on the ship probably will take a little while, just knowing what I know about magic, which is very little. But it can take a while, so I feel like you probably can.
You probably got time. I'd guess.
Yeah.
I don't know the situation, but I'm gonna say we have time. All right, Kat, where we going?
I mean, is everyone? We're going to the Emerald Lane. I mean, is everyone ready?
Oh, I need to pick up one thing real quick.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, I need a larger bag of holding.
A larger bag of holding.
Yeah,
The
bag
like
of-
a clay golem.
If we're gonna get a bag for Lilith.
Yeah.
Can you
Do they
deconstruct her
sell
into like
bags then?
into like an IKEA kit, like individual
She
limbs
just
and
she's
things?
just bundles of clay you'd like slap back on.
Like, does she have to retain her full form? Or can you
Technically,
disassemble her and
she has an
reassemble her?
immutable form. Her form can't be changed.
Does have a mule phone.
I
So
see.
Probably I can't actually do that at all, can I?
I mean, you could put her in the. It'd be. I must
Could you, like,
say,
step in it?
it's not an action to get her out.
We need a
Could
portable
she-
hole, wouldn't we?
A portable hole actually would work technically.
Which is a magic item, a rare magic item.
Get about it. Can I go into those things?
Do. I link the item.
You could. You would be allowed to. But normally they don't. Normally those are given out with big asterisks. You can't. They don't just let anybody buy portable holes. For obvious
So
reasons.
you tell me they don't just grow on trees?
What would that be? Like, I always forget how things work.
I must have written that down, and I definitely messaged you about the money.
I remember
the
that, but I
last
don't remember
session.
what it was because I was still in a fugue state of COVID.
Oh,
I'd
that's
say-
right. That was.
If you were to get a
Yeah.
portable hole, probably like 1,500 gold though.
Oh, we almost got that much.
Yeah, I don't have that much. I guess I will not get a
What are you
portable.
talking about? We
Said
almost got that much the other
1,500?
day.
You guys said-
1,500.
Didn't you
No,
guys
no,
start?
I got
yeah,
the.
dude.
I have that. I feel like
15,000 gold is what you were
15,000.
thinking of.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, I
So
have
can I buy
15.
that?
I could get a bunch of portal holes if you want them.
Oh, we all got 8,940 gold
Okay,
as well.
Well, it was. Yeah, I mean, it was that. That was the sum that I wrote before.
8,940.
Yes, 8,900.
8,490. Okay.
No, what are you
Oh,
talking about?
wait.
Shush.
What is it?
It's that one. It's 8490.
Okay, thank you.
It's just here to create chaos.
Something that I would like to do today is go to a bank to change over some currency, so I'm not carrying around so much.
Yeah,
I just presume that we do that in our spare time. I'm not gonna lie. I always just add platinum.
Yeah. Dungeon masters, as you know, hate round numbers. So.
Can I just have all of my money in Electrum?
Oh God.
What's the good? I'll look it
Yeah,
up,
all
don't
the
worry.
Electrum have Arianbel's face on it though, so that's the cost.
Only silver in case we fight a werewolf.
This is so
You know what? I
stupid.
think
That's so
the magic
stupid. I hate
that
it.
we
I'm so
have-
mad.
I think the
fucking,
magic that
like,
we have is alright.
Flick coins at him.
Or counterpoint, you could run up to him and cast Remove Curse, and then he's fine. Or they're fine.
You know, all your magical weapons work on werewolves. You don't need silver.
It's just for flavor.
Hey, you know what though? Like, if I use 10 silver coins and animate objects, hiya, I can fight werewolves for days.
Oh my god. It's like heat
Alrighty.
metal.
So,
Okay, I'm ready.
I have plans. I have to go shopping before we leave the city. Sorry.
Okay.
For cloaks, for water breathing apparati.
I mean, we're not going to the water breathing stuff yet.
I know, but I imagine it's sort of en route because it's on the
No.
coast of.
We're going to the Emerald
There's
Lane.
teleporting there.
With I have teleport. I'm just gonna go. Pew.
Yeah.
okay.
But we're bringing Jay, right? Because
No.
he has to sail places.
No, we're
let's
leaving
teleport back.
Jay and Zahn here to upgrade the ship. Then we're gonna go to the thing, the stuff, do this thing and the stuff, and then come back. And then hopefully by the time that we come back, they will have finished upgrading the ship. So it's
All right. Well, I'm still gonna go shopping now. So
okay.
it's just
Where is
makes sense.
what is the name of that fucking cube?
Oh boy. All right. I will
The
control
cube
F for
of
cube.
Cube.
Cubic gate, a cube that allows travel. That's what I wrote down. Cubic gate.
Okay, I found. Oh, because I was typing cube in the search and not cubic, so it was popping up.
Right. Yeah. You just wrote it in a super annoying way for yourself.
So fucking.
Look at this guy. This is owning himself in the future.
Alright, cool.
DM, I have one last thing before we decide to teleport.
Yes.
I would like to use my little cat head to message the other Sparks that he should teleport back here and help Zahn while we go. Because having two of us so close is probably a very bad idea.
Okay. And he'll try and give you like a general description of where they are to help with your
I mean,
teleport.
I've been
but
there.
You've where is there? They don't. There's no like specific.
Wherever they were before, I've been there.
They've been exploring in the Emerald Lane. You guys have been setting up like camps and stuff, but you don't have like a. It's not like you're in Evermore. So I'm gonna be so you know that when you're teleporting, you're gonna teleport somewhere in the area, hopefully,
Hey, we might have a little bit of a walk, guys. It'll be fine.
because that's how the teleport spell works.
I ask the other Sparks before I go if they found a teleportation circle.
Oh no! And on the jungle floor, a teleportation circle just sitting there. No.
It's the magical rune thing. Useful.
Yeah, he found one and then he woke up.
Hey, we're gonna have a mission to go through the jungle for like 3 sessions to meet the other party.
So,
What happens when you two meet up with the other Sparks? Like, can you guys be in the same area together?
No, we're swapping places. That's
For the
they definitely
best.
can't be in the
but-
same
but-
area.
But we're going there, so where is the other place you're gonna swap with?
now
Where's the
he's
other
he's coming back here.
Just a chill here?
No, he's gonna help Zahn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna take a nap.
Very long nap.
I helped.
Oh, he's gonna be help. Yeah, I'm helpful, right? Right.
Which one?
No,
You don't want
you're
the
right,
short-term
you're right.
memory or the long-term memory?
Huh?
The short-term memory or the long-term memory?
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay.
So, any party
I mean-
members? Okay.
What you buying, real
Wha-
quick?
wha-
Any party members who are currently wearing a enchanted cloak, or for some other reason don't want one of those that I linked in chat that would help you breathe underwater and swim underwater, speak now, because otherwise I'm buying everyone one of those.
I have a
To
cloak.
the extent that I can.
I mean, I don't have that enchanted cloak. I have a different one, so I'll take that.
Yeah. Also, the cloak of the mancer, to be clear, is also not attunement, so it doesn't take one of your slots. You can just wear it.
Cool. So 4 enchanted cloaks. Do I have that right?
Yeah, you'd be able to do that. They'd be like 500 a pop.
Sparks, you sure you don't?
Water.
Want
Yeah,
it?
no, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. I think we have other breathing underwater items as well.
Yeah, you guys have a few caps.
I have a breathing cap, and I have a ring of water walking. But ideally, just out of character, Sparks isn't gonna go anywhere near the water. If you
Yeah,
can
we
help.
know how it's gonna go. You'll get
And
there.
you're
Oh,
gonna
you'll
drag
get
me
there.
kicking and screaming like you did last time.
I mean, you seem very helpful about this whole submarine project, so
I mean, I don't want to. I can be. You know why I'm asking if we could, like reinforce the ship? It's because Sparks is gonna stay in the ship. It's not
but,
gonna
I
break.
feel like your heart
it's gonna
is still
be
with
fine.
us on the voyage.
Yes, I want to help you, my teammates, realize your dreams, but I don't want to go in the water.
Could I also buy like he'd mentioned a ring of water walking
Yeah,
just for swag? It's an uncommon item, I think.
yeah. No, those would honestly be like soup. They'd be like even way cheaper, just because they're kind of like gimmicky. So you'd be able to get it. You'd be able to get it from like 300 gold pieces.
Cool.
What do they do?
You just walk on
They
water
allow you to walk on water.
On water?
or
Like
liquid
Jesus.
surfaces. Liquid, not just water, but any liquid surfaces. You could also technically walk on lava. You still get burned by it. To be clear,
You can walk on acid too.
still get burned by that too. But
Yeah, but like like take the over under of that, like walking on lava as opposed to falling into and like immersing yourself in lava.
It's
Pretty
better.
good.
It's way
Yeah,
better.
it's better.
It doesn't work this way, like physically. This is bad physics, but like walking on coals or walking on glass, not the same as like going through a window or standing in a fire.
Oh.
Much less damaging. Anyway, yeah. I will buy all those objects, and I will just dismember everyone to a cloak of the manta ray. I will dismember the cloaks of the manta rays to everyone.
Just an out of character thing that I should mention is that I feel like yes, I can teleport everyone here, and it should go all well. But there is a tiny possibility that the other group will summon me, and summons this Sparks, and I will go to them and leave you alone in the jungle. So there's a small possibility that I might vamoose.
Oh, wait a minute.
Anyway.
Never mind. Never mind. I'm just gonna let this happen. All right. So as you get ready to cast the teleportation spell, after you guys have made your preparations towards the end of the day, we'll say at some point Jay and Azan came back. And you explain the situation to them. You will gather around, and with one message, the other Sparks, you let him know. And you all cast teleport, and your goal is just towards the other group in the Emerald Lane. Is that what your target is? What your specific target is important.
Well, I mean, I've definitely had a description from. Have I viewed this area at all?
They are just in the jungle. They've
Yeah,
last
have
time
I viewed it once?
this area, this Sparks wouldn't have know, because this is the one for like where actually they've been heading to the altar, and you haven't gone there yet.
Okay, I've got a description, so it's not a false destination, guys. So like this, it could be worse. Well, we could always try again tomorrow if it doesn't work. I'm gonna cast Mage Armor before I go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is gonna go so badly.
Nagas.
Okay, there we go. Didn't explode. That's okay. Okay, everybody. I wish you all good luck, and it's been nice knowing all of you.
For context, do we want low or high here?
We want high. Higher
So
the better.
Opposite of channel divinity, of summon divinity.
56. That's like not the worst.
Okay.
It could be better.
I'm gonna be fun. If you want to, I'll give you quote unquote advantage on this roll if you want to roll on the wild magic table.
I'm sorry, is that even a fucking... I get to choose the highest one, right?
Yeah, I'm DMing the game. I can just say that you could do that.
I'll take the 56, thank you.
Alright.
That's off target, which means that we're going there.
Okay, that's cool. And as you land in that spot, taking a second to focus on what the best you could have. Also roll me one more D100.
Is that how many miles that were?
No.
That's other Sparks teleporting to Revedia, probably.
86.
You cast a mirror image on yourself. Cool. And
Wild magic said. Actually, you know, while we're doing that, I get to roll twice.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
What's 62?
So it's either that or you start yelling.
I'll have mirror image. Thank you very much.
Okay. And so there is a brief moment where you feel yourselves in the Emerald Lane. You guys are surrounded by this sort of dense, humid air, the foliage that covers the sky above you, and absolutely surrounded by the various sounds of the jungle. And Sparks, you feel that sort of connection, that closeness, that the other Sparks nearby. Not like you don't get like the area, just like that general sense, that general presence, and then it disappears. And seemingly he's teleported away. And then it returns approximately 10 seconds later.
No. You see, he teleported with his cat statue head thing, so he would actually leave.
How's he gonna do that?
Right?
You can't do that.
And
And he goes, Sparks, we have a problem. I left, but I forgot that the rock is still with me. With them. So just don't touch me.
Okay, but like I know where you are now, so I can lead the group towards you, and then I'll just sit in a bag of holding.
We'll figure that part out later. But yeah, don't touch.
I actually knew this might be a problem, but I was like, this is fine.
You think I just forget that he's tethered to a rock just like you are?
Well, no. All he has to do is teleport somebody else.
Tomorrow.
Bye. Yeah, tomorrow. That's fine. That's fine. How far away am I?
He says, well, we're gonna try and find, let's see. And you see, what's it called? After a moment of silence, a streak of fire goes shooting straight up, into the sky. Yeah, a flame of smoke before just going into this massive explosion. You see, and you just hear him. That was us. And
Okay,
so
we'll head towards you.
yeah, so the Emerald Lane it's this sort of large sort of jungle valley. You guys are up on like more where the hillside is. You got like the central area. Oh, that's what the fuck? That's a measurement tool. If you guys are like right, you guys would have came in like right here.
Mm-hmm.
And they're more like they're lower in the valley where you saw them coming from, closer to where the river is.
Hey, this is good. I only did the northern part of the Emerald Lane in my campaign, so we can not fuck up.
Sorry, where are we exactly?
You guys are like in this area where like there's Sparks and Jungle mouse curses are. And the flare they sent up was from like down here. In the water.
Several hundred miles away.
It's gonna be a long trek. You would know moving through the dense foliage is just the hardest part. What would be a mile here or a mile anywhere else would feel like 5 here. But with that, having a sense of direction, you guys begin to trek forward. Making your way towards the other group. What's your guys' marching order as you guys are making your way through?
Oh boy.
Jugan, you want to take the lead?
I'll be as close to in front as I am without being ahead of Jugan.
Okay.
I'll take up the rear,
go.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't want to go last.
So, front and back, can you make your perception checks as you guys are sort of making
back.
Suppose that this is Zelthar's favorite terrain, is it?
jungles or not?
No, this is some type of
Wait, aren't those forests?
ranger
different?
thing.
Oh boy.
This is a swamp thicket rather than like an actual tree forest.
Jugan, as you guys are making your way forward, you find yourself sort of catching these various sounds. Very like it's strange how foreign the sounds of nature are here to the woods that you've explored in the surrounding areas. Just the difference in creatures. You don't also have that while the area does have this magical feel to it, similar to a place like the Moving Wilds, it's just much more like aggressive primal nature than what would be associated with like the sort of like the more playful whimsicalness of the Fey forests. And as you are making your way forwards, you see what seems to be you guys stumble upon some sort of large set of tracks. Ones that would look foreign to you. But like each footprint alone is maybe about like 4 feet long or so from toe to end. You can tell they look reptilian. I'd say you would know that much.
Dinosaurs.
Oh, what?
I'm sorry, what?
I lived here before. Big lizards. Like really big. Like each a whole big.
Mm, that
Wh-
sounds
Why
unpleasant.
didn't they have any better ideas for animals here?
What?
Life finds a way, Killis.
like nicer.
These
animal-
are nice. Lizards!
Kills his cadre of critters all sort of like hunker down, like fearfully trembling.
Why do you not have any lizards as your friends? I feel
just
like you're being
not-
animalists.
They're very predatory.
Kalis,
So-
you've never heard of a fucking dinosaur in your life.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be real with you.
yeah. I'm just going off of big lizard.
Yeah.
He's not a lizard bro.
I
Kalis
would
does not
like
terrarium.
like to cast what's it called? I would like to cast minor illusion and show them a picture of a dinosaur.
You have a particular type?
Cool.
A T-Rex, obviously.
Ah.
Come now, like this is the big scary one. And if we see this one, we should just run away.
I
That's
can
what we
ask
did.
both of you for context. Like, do they have feathers or not?
Sometimes.
Big feather.
Oh, it-
Sometimes.
So it's like a land bird.
It's a very large. I don't like the look of any of those things.
Since when did birds have teeth? These things are crazy.
Dinosaur.
Actually.
You keep saying that word.
Dinosaur.
And
Charmander, Bulbous.
How,
Bulbasaur.
how prevalent are they down here? Like, how likely is it that we're actually going to meet one of these things?
100%.
I do not like that.
Possibly 200%.
Mm.
We've got a long way to go, so we're definitely going to run into one. Probably two. Possibly a hunting pack.
You hunt in packs?
Yeah, of course they hunt in packs.
How
We've
ma-
not been chased by a wild pack of T-Rexes? My goodness.
I don't even know what word you just said.
Tell me they were just fucking dinosaurs chilling out like a state over from Revedia
it's a very
This whole-
far away
this whole
place.
time.
Yeah, they've been here.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, the Emerald Lane is kind of isolationist, you know, like if the elves don't really like the rest of the
Big
other
mountains.
races coming. Hey, look, I have no reason I was here was because it's my mentor. I live with them. But so you know, like we should also possibly stay away from the elves. Zeltha will probably be fine, but like us, especially you. Well, I mean, he's an elf as far as as Sparks is concerned. So
Yeah, these are northern elves.
he has
That's
the
like-
pointy ears. That's good enough for Sparks.
Yeah, you would know that the elves of the Emerald Lane are very very diehard faction. And they don't get along with any of the other tribes here because some of the other primary tribes, at least deep in the Emerald Lane, are the Yanti and like the scattered like lizard folk tribes. They don't. The three of them don't get along at all.
So Zelthar's a high elf? elf? Am I crazy? No, he's a wood elf.
He's a wood elf.
He's a
But his family, the frosted Hearth's Edge elves are high elves, right? Am I crazy?
No, they're wood elves. It's just
they're different wood elf factions.
Yeah.
These ones are cray.
Okay, so they're just both wood elves. Okay, I get
Yeah.
you now.
These ones are like they're a tiny bit xenophobic to outsiders. Tiny, this is squidgen. Smidgen. We should not go to the. We should not go to Evercore. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And as you guys are sort of just sort of having this conversation as you're making your way forward, you see this sort of movement as this face is just staring at you, Jungum. You see this animal that's just sort of like hanging from the tree. It's bird-like. But this very unnerving face is just sort of hanging upside. No, it's hanging from its hands. And sort of observing you as you watch. There's a flock of maybe like a dozen of them, sort of spread like along one tree. Here you go. There's the little fellas. They're like a few feet. They're about 2 feet tall.
Did you post this?
I just showed the artwork in the thing. I'll show it again.
Oh, right. All right. Sorry, I was looking at Discord.
Oh no,
Okay.
And it just seemed to be observing you as you go by, and you hear one of them just like as you walk by, leaving the area, it goes, "Ha!" It's almost like it's laughing.
Will
And
I know
then-
what these are?
I will. I'll screech. Oh, sorry.
And could offer insight because I, lived here.
The name that you would know them by is they're called Jeppies. Like Geppy. And they're not necessarily harmful. They're harmful in swarms.
They are geppies.
And they're like parasitic like creatures. Normally they don't like attack people outright unless they're injured. They usually eat bugs and stuff, but they're attracted to wounds and things like that. So you might see them like on carcasses, things like that, like scavenging. Or if there's like two larger creatures are fighting, sometimes they'll get involved and they're almost like they're like flying leeches. Or like a sturge. That's like a good analogy as well. Well, they'll latch on to it, suck the blood from the creature, and then attach once they've had their fill. So yeah.
That's a lot to process. I just want to say, actually, now that we're walking and Sparks is back in his natural ish terrain, can I just kind of like passively stealth because Sparks knows everything here to kill him as opposed to everywhere else where he just presumes everything wants to kill him.
Oh yeah, no, you would know this is an area where you either stake your claim and like you roam it with confidence to inform the other predators of it, or you stay as subtle as possible. So you're more than welcome to make a stealth check. Because you do know that walking around with too much confidence will be seen as a challenge to some creatures in this forest.
I presume Kaelis knows, animal stuff, so I feel like I don't need to tell him this, but, we'll see if that plays out. As Sparks kind of just fades into the...
Are you just disappearing, or are we all?
Would you tell us that we should also do this? Or do you just go,
You just turn around this... We should all be
7?
quiet.
What's up?
I rolled 27 on perception to see him.
Yeah, you see, you know he's there.
Okay, fantastic.
Though he looks like he definitely does not want to be noticed by the things in this place.
I'm gonna follow suit and I'm gonna be like, "Hey guys, Let's take it easy. Zelthar, you give us a hand?
No, Zilthar will cast Pass Without a Trace, sure.
Hey, bud.
So yeah, 35, 27, 34. Yeah.
Well, you got one more than me. Damn you.
Oh, roll, yes. Wait.
How could the rogue beat me?
I was just reading my stupid magic items to like add the new ones, but like I got the anklets of elven kind. Is this like a silent? This is
Yeah.
a silent stealth check, right? Yeah.
I mean, it's for your footsteps, yeah, but just in general. Yeah, 31. Yeah. So you guys are able to move in here pretty quietly. So much so to the point that as you guys are making your way, you guys more like not going straight at it because it's straight at the where the signal was. 'Cause it's not really the clearest path, just coming down the valley. And then at the bottom of the valley, it opens up a bit towards like a larger field. What you do come across in one opening is just a field of what seems to be these creatures just grazing. These all of them they'd be like huge creatures, maybe like around like 15 to 20 feet across, or from head to toe. These sort of massive heads and these sort of long, like hammer-like tails that stretches across their body. Ankylosaurus, you've seen one of those. And there just seems to be a herd of them grazing. That you guys are able you guys that is it doesn't know they don't notice you all. You're able to move around them pretty quietly.
Sparks is just like, they're not really threatening unless you
Yeah.
appear threatening to them. So if we just move quietly, we should be fine.
Marks, what the fuck are those? Are those?
That's a dinosaur.
I don't like. They're very spiky.
Yeah, but these guys are alright.
Are they like a type of dragon or something?
No, they're the big lizard.
So are
Bird
dragons.
thing. No, like they don't have wings. Well, no, that's a lie. That some of them do have wings. They're distinctively different. That they don't look like dragons.
And then
They don't breathe stuff at you.
And then, as you guys sort of circling the clearing, avoiding their attention to continue on your path, Jungin in the lead, you spot two other creatures that seem to be a pack of 3 creatures that seem to be stealthed, sort of waiting out, watching this herd. As you see them, large lizard-like, but bipedal. Their backs covered in feathers, their stomachs in furs. And on each hand are these massive, several-foot-long claws. There's a pack of 3 Theranzinosauruses. There's another image of them.
Theranzinosaurus.
And you watch as one of them. So they don't seem to. These creatures don't seem to notice you guys either.
Theron, we should stay away from them.
You mostly realize they're called death claws for obvious reasons, because each of their claws is is longer than about the length of your arm, Sparks. These are huge creatures. I believe they large or huge. I believe they're huge. Yeah, they're huge. And you see one prowling along the edge of the clearing. It splits off from the other 2. And then as it breaks out, making its way toward them, you watch as there's a moment of panic within the herd, as you see them sort of not scatter, actually, but begin to almost like circle around each other. Sort of like all heads in, as these massive hammer-like tails are swinging outwards. But as they're all gathering up, you see one sort of off from the pack a little bit, which had failed to get like to it in time. And the one that was slowly straggled away from the herd, you watch as the other 2 immediately pounce towards that one. What's it called? Bounding across the field incredibly swiftly before it can reach the rest of its herd mates. And even as that one is able to fight back briefly, you watch as the massive claws, almost looking like steel blades more than actual claws itself, sort of slash right through the hide. And it's not much of a fight as the two of them gain from the one. And the other ones don't really try to come into defense. They're more, you could see from the distance, the circle that they're making, they seem to be protecting the young of the herd inside of it. And the other creatures, the Therans and the Sauruses, they eventually drag away the corpse of the Ankylosaurus that had been slain, pulling into the woods. And the herd of the Ankylosaurus just shift away as the other dinosaurs slink into the woods with their prize.
As Taran inevitably probably looks at Sparks as if to ask a question, Sparks is just gonna mouth, "Dinosaurs."
And
It's a
yeah,
very eat or be eaten
He
world.
was a pet.
Oh,
What?
no.
No.
what the fuck did you just say? I mean, I can't tell you no, but I can't advise you should.
I'm sorry. What did he? What?
He asked for
Oh,
a
he
pet.
said, "Should we get one as a pet?"
Oh, he said,
No.
"Can I pet it?" Okay.
No. Neither of those things.
Okay, Jan.
Yeah. You guys continue onwards though. Making your way towards the river itself. And you see the sort of heavy flowing stream that makes its way past all of you, hundreds of feet wide across. At the point you guys would be. Technically, it'd be pretty far in the distance, but you'd be able to see what's like the lights of Evermore. As things would start to get as the day would start to actually no, you guys teleport over here in the morning. Or relatively early in the
Mhm.
morning.
Would
So you
we
wouldn't be
in a
able to see the
different
lights
time
from the city.
zone?
Yeah, but it'd be lighter.
Mhm.
Um but you guys making your way along the riverside. You see, watching as observe as you see these other creatures, these massive, several feet long fish. You see a creature which the best thing you could describe it as is an alligator. However, along its back is this mass of rippling muscle as it goes sort of flowing forth along the far side of the river. And as it gets towards the edge, it actually stands up on all four or on two legs. It does not seem to be just, you've seen crocodiles, of course. It seems to be some sort of almost humanoid-like creature. And it sort of meets up with other ones of these sort of like massive crocodile-like humanoids, all dressed in these primitive rags and carrying weapons of some sort, the design of which you can't really make out from this distance. But just so you know, Joe,
Mhm.
that's a fucking Croxagore.
I see.
I assumed as much.
I love those guys.
Sparks.
Crocs. Crocs go. Yeah.
Sparks, I have a question for you. You're from this place, right?
Well, I wasn't born here, but I have lived here for a while. Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say, how can a place with creatures that big be home for someone as small as you? But you weren't born here, so never
No,
mind.
I was born in the plains of Valencia, but I lived here most of my life.
Yeah, and there are Tabaxi
Why?
tribes in the Emerald Lane. They're
Why
rare.
did you live here?
What do you mean?
Why did you live here?
Because this is the place that I live.
Did you choose to live here? Because this is a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of nice once you get used to the dinosaurs. You just
I
have
feel
to,
like
you know.
that
you-
part of
you
the
have-
statement carries a lot of the weight.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's Kalis. It's not too different to you living in the moving worlds. You just have to get used to the things that will try and kill you, and then stay out of their way. It's like there's a balance to things.
But I mean,
And look at me. I can just slink away and disappear. It's easy for me.
well,
None of the big guys can really get me. The only time that it's a problem is if they're like super, observant.
I mean, I feel like you've had quite a few anxieties across our travels of large, deadly, teeth-having creatures dropping on
Yeah,
you
but
and
that.
Explains a
Yeah,
lot,
but
actually.
predating you.
But you see, the
Seems like this
lizards
place
I
is
could
all
hide
that.
from, and they couldn't see me. It's the things that I get scared of is the things that can see. And there seems to be a lot of that not here.
There aren't any magic dinosaurs here.
Well, about that.
Well,
There are some really big toads.
I could say you could roll me a
Excuse me?
history check if you'd like, Sparks.
Excuse me?
Okay.
Because you would certainly know of them.
See, Young Emma is having a fantastic time.
Of course,
History
of fucking
check.
course she is. Why wouldn't I expect that?
I am going. Could I have used my Tides of Chaos for that?
Yeah, you could.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah, you would know a few names. Like, you would know about what's it called? What's it called? The Mountain Walker. What's it called? I'm trying to remember this. I have like a few. There's like Mountain Walker, which is just a big fucking like brontosaur like creature.
Mm-hmm.
You would know the Night Hunter, which is you don't know much about that one. You just know that it was something used to like scare children. And that's something that if there was like sometimes mysterious corpses would be found, it'd be like, oh, or like corpses would be like killed and not eaten. They'd be like, oh, it's the work of the Night Hunter. Things like that. So you know there's a few creatures that have ascended to mythical status, and some that could assumedly have some magical aspects to them. But like you've never heard of like a dinosaur like casting spells, really, something like that. But you know that like
Well, no. I mean, I know that there are big lizard-esque creatures.
Yeah.
I mean, some would say that they are lizard men rather than actual dinosaurs themselves. But like Sparks is to someone that is a cat person, they're one and the same.
yeah, you would know of like magical dinosaurs in the same sense that like animals can be suffused with fey magic, and be changed.
Yeah.
Like this is a very like primal area, and like the magic can affect things accordingly for things old enough.
So I have a question for you, just because you mentioned Croxagles. Are there any Dreadsaurians?
Have you asked me if they're there? If you've seen one?
Because I mean they're not Tarrasques, so I feel like they would exist, but like, like if anyone ever sees one, they do not. It's not like, oh, gotta stay here. It's, oh, that's time to go.
Things like that do exist. Yes, there are like huge lizards or dinosaurs that are used as mount by the lizard tribes.
Okay.
And some are used as war mounts, some are used as pack mounts. But there are especially once you go deep into the Emerald Lane, like, further south, things get more dangerous.
Well, I tell the group of the inherently magical creatures that, like, the boogeymen ones, and then, also say like, they're not even the biggest dinosaurs, though, so, it's fine.
Of course, why wouldn't there be dinosaur boogeymen here too?
Honestly, the big ones are really the ones that you have to worry about most of the time, because they're like, some of them are like, like Imagine big,
Uh-huh.
and then bigger than that.
I'm not seeing how we shouldn't worry about those though. With that
The
description.
skull is like 4 feet long of one of
You're
these
not
boys.
explaining why we shouldn't worry about them?
Still not a dragon,
Because
though. I mean, that's like
no,
big for like a cow, but not big for a dragon.
no, they're bigger than dragons. They just can't fly, and they don't really have like hands and wings. They're just really like most of these creatures. They're either like mythical in the sense that they don't really turn up very often, and if they do, then we're dead anyway. Or they the lizard people. They ride them into battle, like like one of those really big. I think I saw an elephant once.
Sort of like when you see like a kid and he tries to get on a dog and ride it around, but it sort of flops.
Well, like imagine the size would be like Fox just goes silent.
I'm good. I just need to check something real quick. I set it over here. I sure did.
Anyway, it's fine so long as we're quiet and we're doing the quiet thing. Good. Your horns do stick out here, so maybe we should get a little bit closer to the ground.
No, it's fine. They're they're natural camouflage. It just looks like I'm a walking tree, walking shrub with little branches.
There aren't really many big branch like plants here. Well, there are, but like not like your horns.
Alright. But as you guys are making your way over, you get to the area or the general area where you see like where the signal was put up from. It seems that wherever it was exactly, they'd moved from. They didn't just stay in the same spot, because when you put a big signal like that, you don't want to be exactly where you're standing or where you left it, because you draw some attention.
I pull out the cat thing and I use it like a walkie-talkie. Sparks 1, Sparks 2, over.
Because Sparks 2, Sparks 1, over. We're just stowing away for a bit. I didn't think very far ahead when I threw things straight up, and there's a few Yuan-Ti patrols in the area, so we're just laying low real quick because we don't want to get their attention too well, because they have a biggin with them.
Which biggin?
I don't know. I haven't seen one of these before.
Oh.
But it's like a snake, but it's very, very long, and it's very, very thick, and also it has arms. It's not the lizard folk, it's the Yuan-Ti, which they shouldn't be this far south, but here we are.
Yeah, aren't they like up north?
Mhm.
Okay. I turn back to the rest of the group and go, so, there's some Yuan-Ti in the area, and the other group's staying quiet, laying low. Yes, because there's a really big one, like big snake, thick arms.
Have we heard of the Yuan-Ti before?
No, because they're almost exclusive to the Emerald Lane.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I say the term like like everyone's heard of it.
Yeah. There's what in the area?
Yuan-Ti,
Oh, those more dinosaurs?
How have you never heard of Yuan-Ti? Like they're everywhere. Well, I mean,
I've never
usually they're more
been.
north than in here, but like
Hmm.
there's lots of them.
I've never been to the Emerald Lake before. I've never had occasion to come here. I have never heard of this before.
They're a snake person. Imagine lower half of a snake, upper half of a humanoid.
Oh,
So they don't have legs?
No, they have snake tails. They slither.
They do have they come in varying degrees of humanoid, but the
No,
ones that
they
are
slither.
the more snake are the stronger ones.
The snakier they are, the stronger they are. I can't believe I just used that sentence.
Also, are we? How long have we been traveling if we're close to where the flare was set up? I thought they were like far away from us.
We walk fast.
Yeah, no, I just assumed you guys are traveling through the forest quickly. That way we didn't
Oh,
spend
yeah.
like actual several days traveling.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
But you guys, as I said, you guys are like in the vicinity of the area. The other group is just currently laying low. And then as a few minutes go by, you would receive Sparks 2, Sparks 1.
Sparks 1, this is Sparks 2, this is Sparks 1. Yeah, over.
Close to where we
Okay.
dropped from, about a mile or so east, we found a small sort of like cave area. We're hiding out over there. Just so you know, Sparks out.
Alright,
But
guys, we need
be
to head
careful.
east.
They
They've got-
are close. I don't know
Okay.
if they're picking up on our trail or something, but we were able to hear them. We're retreating a little bit further in the cave just to be safe. We don't want to draw too much attention right now. No, yeah.
Okay, so they found somewhere to hide out, but they're not sure that they've lost them. The Yanti are close to them, but we should head east and link up with them. So if they do get into trouble, then we can work it out. If that's good with everyone. Does
Of
anyone
course,
have any
let's
issues
go.
with fighting any Yanti?
Well, how close can we get to your alter ego?
I mean, yes, as long as we don't touch, it's good. But generally, we've been, not
Oh,
on
so
the
distance
other side
isn't
of...
a factor.
I mean, not that I'm aware of. We haven't really spent much time together. We were very much told, "Hey, go other places." So we did. We didn't. I admit I didn't think this through.
Mhm.
I should have just teleported you guys and then stayed here.
We
Stayed
should
back.
probably keep them away from harm because that's you there.
Yes.
Better go then.
Yeah.
We should also move quietly because again, they're in the area, so
Yeah, so we're sneaking in that direction. Can I Oh, could I try and smell any other smell tracks of different types of creatures and see if I just want to see if our path is intersecting with any recently
I see.
trodden trails of groups of people that smell
Go
like snake
ahead
people.
and make me a survival check.
Wouldn't you know Sparks' scent? Wouldn't the other Sparks have the same thing? You'd be able to track him that way, maybe?
Well, Sparks knows where we're going, right?
other than the east and a cave, not really. I mean, I've got
Okay.
Well, I have a kind of tether. I can kind of feel which way I'm going when I'm close, right? That's what you said.
Yeah, it's not like a locate object type thing, but it's like you can go. You're just like a little warmer, colder.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. I just want to keep appraised of whether someone is going in our heading towards the other sparks ahead of us, or if we're
Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. Go ahead and make me a survival check. You can definitely do that. 14.
14.
So as you guys are heading out from that spot, you're able to actually begin to sort of pick up on the trail that the other group had left behind. It seemed that there's somebody among them is there's some sort of survivalist that's what's it called? Familiar with covering trails, but they also seem to be doing it in a rush while they're trying to get out of there. So the tracks weren't covered incredibly well, but unless somebody was looking for them, they wouldn't be able to see them. However, it seems that something was, as at least by either by coincidence or also picking up on it, you do spot a second trail that's following the other ones. The trail of what's presumably Sparks' group. And along that trail, you see it looks like a mix of like footsteps, like barefooted footsteps, as well as like this sort of like like a large moving shape. That's just like pushing the brush.
like a tire rut, like a big
Yeah.
snake body came slithering through.
Kinda, yeah. Pretty yeah, pretty much.
I think I know where that big snake basilisk thing is heading. And it's that way, Sparks. Is that where you feel yourself headed?
Sparks sort of like moves around in a circle and goes, "Yep, that way is warmer."
Well, we need to hurry then.
Let's go.
And also, if we come upon someone, be ready. Because they're no friend of ours. I assume.
Mayhaps.
So, as you are all making your way forward, it is not long before you spot this sort of cave area in front of you. And in front of said cave, you spot a group of creatures. The first of which is this very large snake with this humanoid face. You see it's covered along like black scales, but with like this sort of like lines of like red going down it. And it's sitting up straight, like I'd say like the entirety of this snake-like creature is maybe about 20 feet long. At the end of it, it's about 8 feet tall, and there's two sets of arms folded, observing a group of Yanti talking. What you can't understand what the two Yanti or not the two. Well, there's two Yanti, yeah, the two Yanti that are talking. You can't understand what they're saying, because you not speak the language. But there's a group of about half a dozen of these, and it seems that like you can intuit that they're arguing about going into the cave. And you see one point towards the ground, where you see the very edge of the trail.
Hmm.
Yeah, like a sound. Distraction.
You can do what?
I do not know thermaturgy. Yeah, I do know thermaturgy. So you can make a sound like over there. No, we'll go after that. Walk it.
Before you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and touch myself and Taryn and give us that hit blessing buff for 10 minutes.
Nice.
Cool. All right.
Sparks 2, this is
Yeah.
Sparks 1. They've definitely picked up on your trail. They're outside the cave deciding what to do.
And you just hear, wait, you say Sparks 2 to Sparks 1? Or did you say Sparks 1 to Sparks 2? I imagine it gets
Whatever.
mixed up anyways.
I took notes that Sparks 1 was watching the UNT patrol, so I assume
I thought we
you
had
were
Sparks
currently role-playing Sparks 2?
I thought that
I
Either of
misheard.
those at this point.
I thought we had Sparks 1.
Yeah, I'm Sparks 1.
Maybe we should come up with better names for
Yeah.
both of them.
Don't worry, this is in character.
It really is.
Dear Lord.
Accurate.
Dear Revedia Lord.
Yeah. And you so you're just creating like a off to the side, like a distraction in the bush?
A cough, maybe. and it sounds like not natural to the setting.
Okay. So with a quick cast of thaumaturgy, as you do that, there's a small rustle in the bush a bit of the ways away, and you see the head snap to attention. In the larger snake, he raises his head, and as its mouth opens, it speaks almost as if like the sound is just mist falling from its mouth in this sort of sinister whisper. The language unknowable, but you can feel the words as another two of the there's about 6 normal Yanti here, and there's this big guy. He orders one of the ones that weren't talking just now, or debating on part of the cave. Investigate. In which they go out. And they begin to sort of slink towards that direction. Blades drawn, and you see as they do so, these massive scimitars, dripping with what is assumedly poison or some liquid.
So when he gave them the order to like go investigate, how close were all of the men together? All the snake men?
They were all gathered. They were within maybe like 10, 15 feet, like an area. And the creature was probably about 10 feet from them, like off from the group.
And how far is that from us? How far are we from where the cave, they're gathered in front of the cave mouth?
Gathered from the front of the cave mouth. The area in front of the cave is cleared a little bit, and they're in front of it, so maybe probably like 40 feet to them.
From us to them?
Yeah, from like you to them, from like your extra side of the clearing, and then Jungam made the noise over here. So 2 of them are going further away from you guys.
Oh, so they're not searching in our direction. They're just heading
No.
off in a way.
No. Dragon used thaumaturgy to make a sound elsewhere.
I just thought they started investigating
Yeah, no, they sent 2 of them, but they didn't all start
our
investigating.
vicinity.
Yeah, no,
No,
you're
they
good.
went over to investigate the sound.
Yeah, you guys seem to be fine where you're at right there. However, as those 2 go over there and they begin sort of about like pushing through the bushes, you watch as one of them sort of slices into it, looking into the area, but seeing nothing because there's nothing there. A larger noise interrupts this as there is a sort of low rumbling as these heavy footfalls begin coming in this direction from the very far side of the clearing, opposite of both you guys.
Do I recognize this as the dinosaur activity?
The gate does not sound like a creature. What actually you see is as it breaks its way through, with this green skin all over it, about 15 feet tall. Hair like these matted moss and vines. It seems to be a giant of some sort. The thing that sort of marks him as some sort of ally to the Yanti is the fact that they're not immediately hostile when he enters the area, and sort of across his chest is just patches of scales, almost like armor, that accent the front of his body, but his entire body isn't covered in scales. As he approaches, do any of you speak? I don't think anyone here speaks Giant. Actually, would he speak in Giant with these people? No, only the big one. Wait, does Jung Gun speak Giant? I feel like she does. Or does she speak Dwarvish?
I drink Dwarvish.
No. Well, you would be able to kind of understand some of it then. Is because Dwarvish is a derivative language of Giant. Or I think it's the same script at the very least. The creature would just be saying, "What are we waiting for? We saw the presence in the sky. I've been feeling one of them for long enough now. Make them enter the cave. And as he says that, he says lastly, I want them on I want them back at the camp before the night's in the sky, or before the moon's in the sky. And
The giant is saying
the
this?
giant is saying
Sorry.
that, directing it towards a snake creature.
Okay.
And the
He's
snake,
Only
saying make
Jogun
them
can-
enter the cave.
yeah,
Only
he's-
Jogun can understand this, though, right? Because we're all
Yeah,
just standing
yeah,
here like.
but Jungum's
Alright.
getting like pieces of it because dwarf is more derivative than actual.
Mhm.
The word in cave.
And he's referring to the Yanti as in them. And the snake sort of bows his head and he says, "We shall be done briefly." And you watch as the giant like takes a few steps, and after, even with his massive size, after like the second step back into the forest, completely disappears.
Is this normal behavior? Do I recognize any of this shit, or is this?
You don't
just, like-
recognize, you know that giants exist, but normally they stick to the mountains. Very few giants
Cool.
associate or come down into the jungle, just
Oh,
because.
no help here. I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a big question mark for you as well, as to why the fuck there's a giant down here.
Oh, cool.
And with that, the Yanti sort of hisses in order, and the other ones sort of perk their heads up, and you can see they're beginning to move towards the cave.
Gotta stop this.
Over, Sparks. This is Sparks 1 to Sparks 2. They're coming into the cave. Big giant came out and. Anyway, they're coming in. Get ready.
Got
We'll
it.
back you up.
And you see as one of the Yanti takes a step in, it's like you hear Sparks too. I've got a plan, and you see one Yanti disappear
no.
into the shadows.
Wait.
Oh.
No, I'm
Oh, go
not
ahead.
just letting this happen. I would say before they got all the way across the clearing to the cave entrance.
I mean,
Uh,
4 of them were already at the cave entrance. It's the other
Yeah,
two
they've
that are walking
literally
right
been
back.
standing at the cave entrance the entire time.
No, you distracted.
2 of
Dragon
them.
distracted them.
No, 2.
2 of them went to
Okay,
investigate.
so this is different Yuan-Ti.
No, there have been 4 of them standing right in front of. So there were 6 to start off with in the big snake creature, standing in front of the cave entrance. Jugan made a sound. 2 of them went over to investigate it, and now the 4 that were remaining there, they are going into the cave.
All right. Well, Kalis would say, I'm not going to let them go in after the other Sparks, and he'd be clearly like preparing to do violence to them. If anyone,
Well, I mean, after Sparks, sends this message, the other Sparks. Sorry.
oh, no.
After
Oh,
Sparks
God.
sends the message to the other Sparks, the Sparks that is currently with you turns to you and goes, "They're going to make the first move, Kalis. Get ready to go."
You want? Okay, I'll quickly say. You want me to wait for them? Are you sure?
Yeah, just wait until there's probably going to be a fireball. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna hold my action to cast reverse gravity at the entrance of the cave.
Okay. Yes, that's actually good. So, we're going to sort of pause for this week as you watch as the first Yuan-Ti literally makes 2 steps into the cave and becomes a silhouette. As there is this
Fireball.
gout of flame that hits the area, and the Yuan-Ti is definitely not killed by it. Yeah, no, you actually called. That was exactly my plan, Joe.
Oh, come now. I know myself pretty well.
Know thyself.
And as that gout of flame comes exploding out the front of the cave, you see the Yanti hiss. And as other weapons are drawn, and you are all ready or get ready to emerge from the clearing. That is what we'll pick up next week.
I'll probably cast Fireball to fuck them up as well, because they'll be like, "Oh my god, quickly, spread out, take cover," and I'll be like, "Pow, motherfucker." That's how that works, right?
Hmm.
All right, now we're gonna play this encounter next week, right?
Yes.
Right.
Assuming I don't get a
Bueller.
terrible illness out of
Next
nowhere.
Say
I'll
that,
see
man.
you
Don't
in a
say that,
month,
man.
guys.
All right, no one go to get a terrible illness or
December
go to any
quests.
literary events, please.
Okay. Listen.
Okay.
So wait, the week after. So is Thanksgiving coming up really, really fast.
Sure
And
is.
Christmas, then New Year's.
But it's not
Mhm.
next week.
Yeah, we're good
It
now.
ain't next week.
It should be good next week.
Oh my god, my allergies are like murdering me. Are we still on
Yeah, it
stream?
shouldn't
Oh yeah,
be.
yeah. We should. Yeah. Thanks for watching. We'll see
Thanks
you.
for watching.
Bye bye.
I'm so sick.